Neuropathy doesn't usually start with pain. For many seniors, it begins quietly, subtle numbness in the toes, a faint tingling at night, or a strange sensation that your feet don't fully feel the floor anymore. Most people assume this is just another unavoidable part of aging, but that assumption is where many go wrong. What many seniors are never told is that neuropathy is often influenced by a little known internal factor that has nothing to do with shoes, posture, or even activity level. In fact, some people stay active, eat reasonably well, and still develop worsening nerve discomfort. That's because neuropathy is rarely just a surface problem. It's usually a signal coming from deep inside the body. As we age, the nervous system becomes more sensitive to internal changes. Nerves rely on a delicate balance of nutrients, circulation, and metabolic support to send clear signals. When that balance is disrupted, even slightly nerve communication begins to falter. Messages from the feet to the brain slow down, weaken, or become distorted. Over time, this shows up as numbness, tingling, burning sensations, or a feeling of heaviness that's hard to describe. What's surprising is that this process often accelerates not because of something seniors are doing wrong, but because of something they were never warned about. After 55 or 60, the body's ability to absorb and use certain critical nutrients changes dramatically. Even people with healthy diets can develop silent deficiencies that directly affect nerve function. And because this happens slowly, it often goes unnoticed until symptoms are already present. Doctors frequently focus on managing symptoms, but fewer conversations are had about the internal conditions that allow nerves to stay stable and comfortable over time. This missing piece leaves many seniors confused, frustrated, and worried that neuropathy will only continue to worsen. In this video, we're going to talk about one overlooked factor that plays a major role in nerve health after 60. It's not a medication, not a miracle cure, and not something extreme. It's something every senior should understand because it affects how nerves function at the most basic level. If you or someone you love is experiencing numbness, tingling, or nerve discomfort, and you want to understand what may really be contributing to it, stay with me. This information could change how you think about neuropathy and what steps truly matter moving forward. Neuropathy in seniors is often discussed as if it appears suddenly or without explanation, but in reality, it usually develops slowly due to internal changes that go unnoticed for years. One of the most overlooked contributors is how the aging body handles nutrients that nerves depend on for structure and communication. This factor rarely receives enough attention, yet it plays a central role in how nerves feel and function after. Nerves are not passive wires. They are living tissue that requires constant support to maintain signal clarity. As we age, nerve cells become more vulnerable to disruptions in their internal environment. Even small changes in nutrient availability can weaken nerve insulation and slow signal transmission. When this happens, messages from the feet and hands to the brain become distorted or delayed, leading to numbness, tingling, or uncomfortable sensation. What makes this factor especially concerning is that many seniors assume their diet is sufficient. However, aging digestion changes how nutrients are absorbed and utilized. Reduced stomach acids, slower digestive processes, and common medications can all interfere with the body's ability to extract and use essential nutrients from food. This means a person may eat well, yet still experience internal shortages that directly affect nerve health. Over time, low availability of nerve-supporting nutrients can cause the protective covering around nerves to weaken. Without this protection, nerves become more sensitive to stress, inflammation, and metabolic changes. This sensitivity often shows up first in the feet because they are farthest from the heart and rely heavily on efficient circulation and nutrient delivery. The circulation itself becomes less efficient with age, compounding the problem. When blood flow slows, nerves receive fewer resources and waste products linger longer around nerve tissue. This creates an environment where nerve irritation is more likely to occur. The combination of reduced absorption and slower circulation quietly accelerates nerve discomfort. Lifestyle factors can further influence this process. Long periods of sitting, limited movement, dehydration, and poor sleep all reduce the body's ability to deliver nutrients to nerve tissue. Chronic stress increases inflammatory chemicals that irritate nerve endings and interfere with repair. These factors often work together, amplifying the effects of the underlying nutrient issue. One reason this factor remains overlooked is that symptoms often fluctuate. Numbness may improve temporarily, then return, making it seem unpredictable. In reality, nerves are responding to inconsistent internal support. When conditions improve briefly, nerves stabilize. When support drops again, symptoms return. Supporting nerve health requires consistency rather than intensity. Aging nerves respond best to steady internal conditions that allow gradual repair and stabilization. Improvements are often subtle at first, such as reduced nighttime tingling or improved awareness of foot position, but these changes signal that nerve communication is becoming more efficient. Another important aspect seniors should understand about neuropathy is how everyday habits quietly influence nerve stress over time. Many people focus on age or genetics, but nerves are extremely sensitive to how the body is treated day to day. Small, repeated stressors can slowly weaken nerve function, especially when internal support is already reduced after. One major factor is prolonged inactivity. When the body stays still for long periods, circulation slows, particularly to the lower legs and feet. Nerves depend on steady blood flow to deliver oxygen and nutrients and to remove waste products. When movement is limited, this exchange becomes less efficient, and nerve endings become more vulnerable to irritation and reduced sensation. Posture also plays a role. Sitting for extended periods with bent hips or crossed legs can compress blood vessels and nerves, limiting circulation to the lower extremities. Over time, this compression contributes to nerve discomfort and delayed signal transmission. Many seniors experience symptoms that worsen in the evening because circulation has been restricted throughout the day. Hydration is another often overlooked influence. Dehydration thickens the blood slightly, making it harder for nutrients to reach nerve tissue. Seniors sometimes reduce fluid intake to avoid frequent bathroom trips, but this habit can unintentionally increase nerve sensitivity and discomfort. Proper hydration helps maintain smoother circulation and more stable nerve signaling. Sleep quality directly affects nerve health as well. During deep sleep, the body lowers inflammation and focuses on repair. Poor or fragmented sleep disrupts this process, leaving nerves more reactive during waking hours. Many seniors notice that neuropathy symptoms feel worse after a poor night's sleep, not because damage increased overnight, but because recovery time was reduced. Stress adds another layer of strain. Chronic emotional or mental stress increases stress hormones that raise inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation irritates nerve endings and interferes with signal clarity. Even when physical habits are well managed, ongoing stress can worsen neuropathy symptoms by keeping the nervous system in a heightened state. Footwear choices can also affect nerve comfort. Tight shoes, narrow toe boxes, or stiff soles restrict natural foot movement and compress nerves. Over time, this pressure reduces sensory feedback and aggravates numbness. Comfortable footwear that allows the foot to move naturally supports better nerve communication. Blood sugar fluctuations can influence nerve stability, even in people without diagnosed diabetes. Sudden spikes or drops stress nerve cells and increase irritation. Regular meals and balanced nutrition help maintain steadier internal conditions that nerves tolerate better. When these daily factors combine with reduced nutrient absorption and slower circulation, nerves struggle to maintain comfort and clarity. Symptoms may come and go, leading many seniors to feel confused or discouraged. In reality, nerves are responding to inconsistent internal conditions. A factor that often surprises seniors dealing with neuropathy is how strongly circulation influences nerve comfort. Nerves do not function in isolation. They depend on healthy blood flow to deliver oxygen, nutrients, and supportive compounds that keep nerve signals clear. After 55 or 60, circulation to the lower body naturally becomes less efficient, which is why neuropathy symptoms often begin in the feet and toes. When blood flow slows, nerves receive fewer resources, and waste products linger longer around nerve tissue. This creates an environment where nerves become irritated and less responsive. Signals traveling from the feet to the brain may weaken or arrive late, leading to numbness, tingling, or a heavy, disconnected feeling. These sensations are not random. They reflect how nerves are being nourished internally. Muscle activity plays a major role in circulation. And the calf muscles act like a second heart, pushing blood upward against gravity. When movement decreases, this pumping action weakens, allowing blood to pool in the lower legs. Many seniors reduce movement due to stiffness, fear of falling, or fatigue, but this reduction often worsens nerve discomfort rather than relieving it. Even small movements can make a difference. Gentle walking, ankle rotations, toe flexing, and shifting positions throughout the day help activate circulation without stressing joints. These movements improve nutrient delivery to nerve endings and reinforce communication pathways between the feet and the brain. Temperature sensitivity is another sign of circulation-related nerve stress. Cold environments cause blood vessels to constrict, further reducing nutrient delivery to nerves. Seniors with neuropathy often notice symptoms worsen in cooler conditions. Keeping feet warm supports blood flow and reduces nerve irritation. Inflammation also affects circulation. Chronic low-grade inflammation stiffens blood vessels, limiting their ability to expand and contract efficiently. This reduces the delivery of nutrients to nerves and increases sensitivity. Supporting overall vascular health helps create conditions where nerves receive steadier support. Hydration continues to play a supporting role. When the body is underhydrated, blood becomes slightly thicker, making circulation less efficient. Seniors sometimes underestimate how much this affects nerve comfort. Adequate hydration supports smoother blood flow and more consistent nutrient transport. Nutritional support becomes more effective when circulation improves. Vitamins and other supportive nutrients cannot benefit nerve tissue if they cannot reach it. Improved blood flow allows these nutrients to be absorbed and used more efficiently by nerve cells. Early improvements related to circulation often appear as warmer feet, reduced nighttime tingling, or better awareness of foot position while walking. These changes suggest nerves are receiving clearer signals and responding more consistently. Another little discussed contributor to neuropathy in seniors is how the nervous system responds to long-term inflammation and oxidative stress. As the body ages, low-grade inflammation becomes more common, even in people who feel generally healthy. This type of inflammation does not cause obvious pain or swelling, but it quietly affects sensitive tissues such as nerves. Nerve cells are especially vulnerable to inflammatory signals because they are designed to transmit precise electrical messages. When inflammation is present, these signals can become distorted or weakened. Over time, this leads to sensations such as burning, tingling, numbness, or reduced awareness in the feet and hands. Many seniors notice symptoms fluctuate, feeling better one day and worse the next, which reflects changes in internal inflammatory levels. Oxidative stress adds another layer of strain. It occurs when the body produces more unstable molecules than it can neutralize. With age, the body's natural antioxidant defenses decline, allowing oxidative stress to damage delicate nerve structures. This damage does not happen suddenly, but accumulates slowly, making neuropathy feel progressive and unpredictable. Dietary patterns strongly influence inflammation and oxidative stress. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, and unbalanced meals increase inflammatory markers in the body. Even in individuals without diagnosed metabolic conditions, these dietary patterns can worsen nerve sensitivity over time. On the other hand, steady nutrition that supports internal balance helps calm nerve activity. Sleep plays a powerful role in regulating inflammation. During deep sleep, the body clears inflammatory byproducts and supports tissue repair. Poor sleep interrupts this process, leaving nerves more reactive during waking hours. Many seniors with neuropathy report that symptoms feel worse after restless nights, which reflects reduced overnight recovery rather than sudden nerve damage. Stress further amplifies inflammation. Chronic emotional or mental stress activates stress hormones that increase inflammatory activity throughout the body. This keeps the nervous system in a heightened state, making nerve endings more sensitive. Even when physical habits are well managed, ongoing stress can intensify neuropathy symptoms. Daily routines can either reduce or increase this inflammatory load. Gentle movement, adequate hydration, balanced meals, and calming activities help lower inflammatory signals. These habits do not eliminate neuropathy instantly, but they create an internal environment where nerves are less irritated and more stable. Vitamin support becomes more effective when inflammation is controlled. Certain vitamins help protect nerve tissue and support repair, but their benefits are limited if the internal environment remains inflamed. Reducing inflammatory stress allows nerves to respond more positively to nutritional support. Early signs of improvement related to inflammation control may include less burning sensation, fewer sudden tingling episodes, or improved comfort during rest. These changes suggest nerve endings are becoming less reactive and more stable. For many seniors, one of the most confusing aspects of neuropathy is why symptoms seem to improve slightly and then return without warning. This pattern often reflects how consistently the nervous system is being supported rather than permanent damage progressing overnight. Nerves are highly responsive to their internal environment, and even small changes in routine can influence how they feel from day to day. Consistency is critical for nerve stability after 55 or 60. Nerves rely on steady signals to maintain their structure and function. When supportive habits such as proper nutrition, hydration, movement, and rest are inconsistent, nerves struggle to adapt. This can cause symptoms to fluctuate, making neuropathy feel unpredictable and discouraging. Many seniors expect rapid changes, but nerves heal and stabilize slowly. Unlike muscles, which can respond quickly to exercise, nerves require time to rebuild internal processes. Supporting nerve health is more about maintaining stable conditions than forcing quick results. When expectations are realistic, it becomes easier to stay consistent with habits that truly help. Daily movement continues to be a key factor. Gentle, regular movement reinforces communication between nerves and the brain. It helps maintain circulation, reduces stiffness, and keeps sensory pathways active. Long periods of inactivity allow nerve signals to weaken, even when nutrition is adequate. Foot care and awareness also matter. Paying attention to foot comfort, avoiding prolonged pressure, and choosing supportive footwear reduce unnecessary nerve stress. Simple habits such as gentle foot massage or stretching help maintain sensory input and circulation. Hydration supports nerve signaling by maintaining healthy blood flow. Even mild dehydration can increase nerve sensitivity by limiting nutrient delivery. Seniors often underestimate how strongly hydration influences nerve comfort, especially in the lower extremities. Mental and emotional well-being influences neuropathy more than many realize. Chronic stress keeps the nervous system in a heightened state, making nerves more reactive to minor stimuli. Creating calm daily routines and reducing mental strain helps lower this background stress, allowing nerves to function more comfortably. Vitamin support works best when it is part of a broader routine rather than a standalone solution. Vitamins provide the raw materials nerves need, but daily habits determine whether those materials are used effectively. When routines support circulation, inflammation control, and steady nutrient delivery, nerves are better able to stabilize. Over time, consistent support often leads to subtle but meaningful improvements. Seniors may notice improved balance awareness, reduced nighttime discomfort, or a more natural feeling when walking. These changes indicate improved nerve communication rather than sudden recovery. Understanding that neuropathy management is a long-term process helps reduce frustration. When seniors focus on steady internal support instead of quick fixes, nerves are more likely to remain comfortable, responsive, and stable in daily life. Neuropathy can feel confusing and frustrating, especially when symptoms come and go without a clear explanation. The most important thing to remember is that nerve discomfort after 55 or 60 is not something you have to ignore or accept without understanding. Nerves are living tissue, and while they change with age, they also respond to steady, thoughtful support. Small, consistent habits often matter more than dramatic changes. Supporting nerve health takes patience, routine, and attention to how the body responds over time. Progress may appear slowly, but even subtle improvements in comfort, balance, or sensation can make daily life feel more stable and confident. Always work with your healthcare provider when making decisions about supplements or lifestyle changes, and focus on approaches that support your overall well-being. Understanding what affects your nerves puts you back in control, helping you move forward with clarity rather than worry.